Hey, do me a favor. Just take a quick look around. The chair you're on, the phone you're probably holding, the app you were just scrolling through. Literally everything is designed. And every single one of those choices, no matter how tiny, creates a ripple effect. Today, we're going to follow those ripples. So let's just get right into it with a big question. Think about that one app you use all the time, the one you can't imagine your day without. Is it just a way to kill time? Or is it actually changing how you think, how you connect with friends, maybe even changing the world? It's probably a little of both. And that's the whole point, isn't it? Anyone who creates something, whether you're a designer or not, has this huge responsibility to think about what happens next. The good stuff and, yeah, the bad stuff too. So let's break down that ripple effect and see just how far it can go. To make this feel a bit more real, let's take an app that pretty much everyone knows, Snapchat. On the surface, it's super simple, right? You're just sending silly pictures to your friends. But if we dig a little deeper, there's a whole world of impacts hiding under the surface. We're going to look at this through 3 different lenses, which is a really useful way to analyze anything, really. First, what's the impact on you, the individual? Then, what's the impact on us as a society? And finally, what's the impact on the planet, our environment? Okay, level 1, you. The good part is obvious. It's an amazing way to feel close to friends, especially when you can't be there in person. But let's be real, there's a flip side. The pressure to keep up streaks, that little pang of FOMO when you see people hanging out without you, it can cause some serious anxiety and become pretty addictive. That's a trade-off happening right in your pocket. Now, let's zoom out to the bigger picture, society. On one hand, apps like Snapchat are fantastic for finding your people and building communities. But on the other hand, you have to wonder, as we get better at talking through filters and texts that disappear, are we getting a little worse at just having a normal face-to-face conversation? And finally, the level we almost never talk about, the environment. Yeah, sure, sending a snap saves paper, but think about the phone itself. Apps that need more and more power push us to want the latest and greatest phone, which creates this cycle of consumerism and a literal mountain of e-waste. It's a hidden cost. So looking at all those trade-offs makes you wonder, right? Could Snapchat have been designed differently? And more importantly, if you were going to create something new for a school project or maybe one day for your job, how could you build it better from the start? Well, here's the super helpful checklist you can use. Before you ever write a line of code or draw a single sketch, just ask these 4 questions. Is it sustainable? Is it equitable, meaning is it fair for everyone? Is it safe and healthy? And the big one, is it ethical? Does it do the right thing? This pushes you past, is it cool, to is it good? Let's just pause on that first one for a sec because it's so important. Sustainability isn't just about putting your cans in the right bin. It's this much bigger idea of making sure the things we do and make today don't mess things up for people in the future. It's all about thinking long term. All right, enough theory. What does this actually look like in the real world? Let's check out a couple of awesome examples from companies that are totally nailing this. First up, have you heard of Ecosia? Their design idea is so simple, it's genius. They took something we do all day, every day, searching online, and they attached an amazing outcome to it, planting trees. And the impact is just mind-blowing. That's over 75 million trees planted, just from people doing their normal searches. It's proof that millions of tiny everyday actions, when guided by smart design, can add up to something massive. And they really walk the walk. It's not just about the trees. They've designed their whole company around that checklist we just saw. Donating their ad revenue? That's ethics. Running their servers on renewables? That's sustainability. Protecting your data and not selling it? That's designing for safety. It's the whole package. Okay, for our next example, let's switch from the digital world to something very physical. What's on our plate? The environmental impact of farming meat is a massive global problem, and this company, V2 Food, is trying to design a way out of it. This quote from their CEO, Nick Hazel, really just cuts right to the chase. The way we're doing things now just can't continue forever. That's the design problem they decided to tackle. So what did they make? It's a plant-based meat alternative. But here's the really clever part of the design. They went all in on making it look, cook, and taste just like meat. Why? Because their goal wasn't just to make a new veggie burger for vegetarians. They wanted to make something so good that even meat eaters would choose it. That's designing for equity, making the sustainable choice easy and appealing for everybody, which multiplies their positive impact like crazy.
So we've looked at the good, the bad, we've got a checklist for doing better, and we've seen some inspiring examples. So now, let's talk about you.
The biggest thing I hope you take away from this is that you now have a new set of tools. It's like you've been given a pair of X-ray glasses. You can start to look at the world and see those hidden ripples, the consequences, and trade-offs that most people just don't notice. And that leads to this one last kind of exciting thought. Once you start seeing problems not just as problems, but as design challenges, you realize you have power. You can be a creator, not just a consumer. So my question for you is, what problem do you see in the world? And how might you start to design a solution?